It's review day, and nothing's trying to kill me. Yeah, I don't buy that. But I guess while we're sitting here waiting for whatever it is, we can at least get the review started. So, welcome to This Day in Movie History, episode 9. I am the movie guru, helping bring you enlightenment through movies. And today, which is February 13th, episode entitled, wait for it, and we're going to jump in right away with your notable birthdays. Born today and turning the age of 33 is Mina Suvari. Yeah, the girl from the American Pie movies, as well as American Beauty and The Loser. Okay, that's a lot of films with Jason Biggs. Not my cup of tea, but what have you. She was also in the films The Musketeer, which was actually a pretty cool redo of the Musketeer story with Tim Roth, as well as Edmund, which was written by David Mamet, a wonderful playwright starring William H. Macy, Julia Stiles, some very good people. Very weird, very kind of dark thriller. And she was also in Domino, one of the last movies that I actually found Keira Knightley attractive before she got way too Skeletor thin. Also born today and turning the age of 44 is Kelly Hu. And man, does she look amazing. Amazing for 44. She's been in such films as The Scorpion King, which is probably what everybody first noticed her for, at least every male in the country first noticed her for, because she was smoking hot in that movie. You might also know her from X2, X-Men United, where she played Lady Deathstrike, Wolverine's counterpart with the long adamantium nails coming out of her. Far from the character in the comic books, but still very cool. She was also in The Devil's Den, which is amazingly cheesy and fantastic with Devon Sawa and Kim Foray. The tagline for the movie is, "The fate of the world will be decided tonight in a bar full of possessed strippers." So you can imagine that this movie is pretty ridiculous. She was also in The Air I Breathe, a fantastic movie. Just look at the cast. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Forrest Whitaker, Andy Garcia, Brendan Fraser. A slew of very good people. Kind of a Crash-esque film where all of these stories start out separately and then come together. It was very well done. And she was also in one of my personal favorites, Farmhouse. Farmhouse is great. It's her and the guy who played Brian Hackett on Wings. Oh, he's amazing. He's so good at playing a sociopath. He was a very enjoyable part of that made-for-TV miniseries of The Shining, where he played Jack Torrance, which was Jack Nicholson's character. I thoroughly enjoy him. He's great. They play such a psychotic couple that traps travelers and tortures them. It's a really good, low-budget, independent horror movie that you all should check out. Very nice twist ending, too. Also born today and turning the age of 68 is Stockard Channing. Stockard Channing got her big start in the movie Grease, playing Betty Rizzo, which is where most people know her from, but she's also been in movies like 6 Degrees of Separation, To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, where you get to see John Leguizamo, Patrick Swayze, and Wesley Snipes in drag. Trust me, it's worth it. It's weird. It's fantastic. It's out there. She was also in Practical Magic as one of the ants. She was in Batman Beyond as Commissioner Barbara Gordon, the older Batgirl, which she was fantastic in. She was in Where the Heart Is with Natalie Portman and Ashley Judd, also a very cool movie. And a lot of people would know her from West Wing. She was on there for quite a while playing Abby Bartlett. And last but not least, certainly not least, believe me, you are not least, Henry Rollins, please. You are not least, don't go off on me, okay? You're crazy. You're awesome, but you're crazy. For those of you who don't know, Henry Rollins is a singer. He was a punk singer for Black Flag. He also has the Henry Rollins Band. He's a stand-up, a poet, a writer, an actor. He's been in such movies as The Chase, which practically the whole movie is a car chase starring Charlie Sheen. When he was still weird, because he's always been weird, but before he got really weird, like Tiger Blood weird. He was also in Johnny Mnemonic with Dolph Lundgren and Keanu Reeves. Heat with a slew of people, Val Kilmer, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. Great heist flick. If you haven't seen it, check it out. He was also in Lost Highway. Weird movie. Directed by David Lynch. You will never understand a David Lynch movie, but this movie does have Bill Pullman in it, and it does have a kick-ass soundtrack by Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, so that's at least worth checking out. He was also in Batman Beyond, playing the voice of Mad Stan, which was a reoccurring character that Bruce Timm, the creator of that show, as well as Stan Berkowitz and Paul Dini came up with, which is just very hilarious. He was in The New Guy, playing the warden. He was in the movie Feast, which is a very hilarious and very bloody and gutty horror movie. He was in the very popular show Sons of Anarchy, playing A.J. Weston. And last but not least, most recently, he was in Green Lantern Emerald Knights, yet another animated film where he played the lovable Kilowog. Well, that's it for your birthdays today. However, before we jump into the movie that we're going to be doing today, which is 84 Charing Cross Road, we are going to get the actor you should know out of the way. Because the actor you should know, unlike most of my movies, is the main character in this one. The illustrious, the fantastic, the classy, the brilliant, and my first actress you should know, Anne Bancroft. Now, Anne Bancroft was born September 17th, 1931 in the Bronx in New York City. She was born Anna Maria Louise Italiano. She changed that to Anne Bancroft, I wonder why, when she got her role in her first movie, Don't Bother Knocking, with Marilyn Monroe. She was a supporting actress through all of the 50s until she became a star in the 1962 film The Miracle Worker, what she won an Academy Award for, and deservedly so. It's an amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Not the remake in like 2000 with that stupid speech impediment girl from Polly. I'm talking about the original with Anne Bancroft. Fantastic movie. During the 60s, 70s, and 80s, she gave many good leading performances in such films as The Pumpkin Eater. She was also in Young Winston, War Pick. She was in The Prisoner of Second Avenue, The Turning Point. She was in To Be or Not to Be, which is a Mel Brooks film. He stars in it with her, and they were actually also married for 40 years until her death. And she also makes a small cameo in Dracula Dead and Loving It. She was also in Agnes of God, and of course the movie that we're reviewing today, 84 Charing Cross Road. Her most famous role was Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate, playing opposite Dustin Hoffman. She would later express frustration at this movie overshadowing all of her previous work. In the 90s, she transitioned back into supporting roles in such movies as Point of No Return with Bridget Fonda about assassins, Great Expectations with Robert De Niro, Ethan Hawke, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Keeping the Faith. Yep, even a woman with the acting caliber and quality of Anne Bancroft has stooped so low as to work with Ben Stiller. Sad, but I guess it is a mildly amusing movie, and it does have Edward Norton and Jenna Elfman in it, so I guess it can't be too bad. Sadly, on June 6th, 2005, she passed away from uterine cancer. She left behind one son, Max Brooks, and her husband, Mel Brooks, who has really since then not been doing much concerning movies. It's a very sad thing, but very understandable. They were married for 40 years. So go out, appreciate this actress, this Oscar-winning actress. You should absolutely know her work, and watch some of her fantastic movies. And especially watch this next movie and marvel at just what an amazing actress she is. You'll see why she was my first actress you should know. And I wouldn't have it any other way, because she is one of the most important actresses I think everybody should know. Mrs. Anne Bancroft Brooks. Ha! I knew it. I fucking knew it. Here we go. Here we go. Jess, you cut your hair.
Yeah. Do you like it?
It's nice. It's very becoming. You want to come in?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
So what are you doing here?
Well, I figured it was review day. Something must be trying to kill you, right?
You know, I was just thinking that I should call you and see if everything was okay on your end, because everything has been eerily quiet here.
No, nothing on my end. Not yet.
Do you, want to stick around, do the review with me, you know, safety in numbers and all that?
Yes. What movie are you reviewing?
It's 84 Charing Cross Road.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. Yeah, I'll stick around. The sooner we get done, the sooner we know we're safe, right?
Right.
How's the wound?
Oh, it's good. It's good. It barely bothers me.
Oh. What?
There was so many weapons and... Never mind. We should get this done, you know, before Cigarette Burn shows up with, like, laser seals with fucking death rays attached to their head or something. So,
Good idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I was saying before, I was interrupted by Jess and her weapons plenty. We're going to be reviewing 84 Charing Cross Road. That was released on this day in 1987. Which, it was a very good Valentine's Day movie for that year, because, you know, Valentine's Day is all about love and the expression of love. And not necessarily just romantic love, but, you know, the love between family and friends and you know, kind of a love that's based on mutual respect. You know, maybe not just romantic love or anything, but, you know, there are many types of love that I think Valentine's Day is appropriate to celebrate.
You are so single.
Shut up. So our movie opens with our actress you should know, the amazing Anne Bancroft, as she's on her way to London for some unfinished business. We get a flashback to 1949 while she's in a bookshop in the Bronx in New York, and she's looking for several obscure English volumes that she absolutely can't find. And then we're shown her writing a letter to a bookshop in London, which is at 84 Charing Cross Road.
I really liked the use of the different letters in this movie, and they did a really good job expressing the professionalism of the relationship at first, and then later on it turns more so into friendship as opposed to just professional, I need this book, well I have this book, let me send it to you, yours truly. They become more friends and more friendly towards the end.
Yeah, and the sheer amount of personality conveyed in the letters is fantastic. Just the dry wit and cynicism from her end, and the staunchy Britishness of Anthony Hopkins in this movie.
Yep.
Especially, I like it when they convey the personal comments in the letter directly to the camera.
Yes, me too. That was really interesting. It was not expected. I really liked that.
And especially because it starts happening more and more as the letters go on, as they get more personal, like you were saying, and less professional. Here's your book. Oh, why, thank you kindly, shopkeeper.
Yes.
Yeah. And something that should be known about this movie is actually a true story. Helen Haff, who is played here by Anne Bancroft, was a real woman. She actually wrote a book about her experiences here, which was turned into a play, which this screenplay is adapted from. Yeah.
Very cool.
Some of these excerpts from the letters are actual pieces from letters that were written over this 20-year friendship.
Cool. Very cool. A little bit of history for you. The interesting thing about, I think, Anthony Hopkins' character is how uptight he is when you first meet him, how like stiff and strict and uptight and, I mean, in a way professional he is when you first meet him. And then once their relationship develops more and more throughout the movie, he starts cracking weird jokes and has that whole British humor thing going on, and he actually starts laughing and he seems to get happier. And it's a really interesting development of his character.
Shh. Thought I heard something. Must have been my imagination.
Jesus, Joshua! I'll put that on silent.
It was probably a good idea. Unless, of course, you've got some defibrillators on you.
No. Pretty much had a heart attack, so that's gonna stay on silent.
Yeah. Okay, back to the movie.
Yes.
One of my favorite things is when Helene starts sending the packages through the mail to his family and to the other people at the shop.
Yes.
And because during that time period in Britain, they were going through food rationings because they were recovering from World War II. Their economy wasn't back on their feet. So his wife, you see who that is?
Oh my gosh. I didn't even notice that. That's Judi Dench.
Yeah, she's looking very young and completely opposite of the way she looks as M.
Seriously. M? What?
And I love the reoccurring gag at the dinner table when he sits there, he cuts into his food, and in the very British way just says,
"Very nice, very tasty."
Very good.
Very good.
Very tasty. Very good. Very tasty.
Reminds me of Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Quite right.
Yeah,
good idea.
Yeah.
Quite right.
Good idea. Quite
Quite
right.
right.
Good idea.
Quite right.
Good idea. Quite right.
Good idea.
Yes. Quite right.
Good idea.
Good idea.
Quite right.
Yes, good idea.
Yeah, cheerio, good chap.
The other thing I love about this movie is how much of a spitfire Helene is, and how it really comes out in the fantastic back and forth dialogue that they have in this movie, especially when she throws the book of sonnets against the wall.
That's so funny.
She starts typing. and she's just, I cannot wait until I find a proper copy of this book.
I'm going to rip this one up and wrap something in it.
And then
that was very entertaining.
And then once again, one of the direct quotes to the camera that I just love so much is, "Please send me a poet who can make love without slobbering." Or like one of the more touching lines in the movie is a little bit further on when she writes to him. She says, "You know, Frankie, I think you're the only soul in the world who understands me."
Yes.
And
It's very touching.
It really shows the relationship. I mean, people who have only been corresponding. Spider.
Sorry.
That's fine. You know, I needed new carpet in here anyways.
On the plus side, I guess it's a note sent to all the other spiders in here.
True. But one thing about this movie is that they do show the passage of time very well.
They do. I agree.
I mean, the different styles of hair, the different styles of dress, the different cars. They do it very subtly, and again, very subtle aging makeup.
Yes, I was just about to talk about that. Usually in movies you can tell when an actor or actress has been made to look like they're older. Like, one of my favorite movies, Edward Scissorhands. Winona Ryder, when they portray her as the grandma telling the story at the very beginning and the end, you can totally tell how fake the makeup looks on her. It looks awful. It really does. And I don't know if maybe they were just kind of doing it to do it that way, or if they really tried and just botched the whole thing up, but it looked horrible. You could totally tell it was her, and it just looked really, really bad. With this makeup, it is very subtle, and I think that's good. The whole subtlety thing really allows it to look real. And like you were saying, the change of the environment, the cars, I mean, even the way she does her hair, the glasses that she wears. I mean, it's all so subtle that you don't really notice it until you're like, oh, you watch the movie and you're like, wait, that's like 30 years down the road, and then you realize it.
And the only way to really see it, like really see the change in it, is to hit the next button on your DVD and skip chapters. Because then you can see the progression of it. But they do a really good job of just subtly making them old. So if everything feels fresh, it feels like they've only been corresponding for so long, but really they've been doing this for 20 years. Yep. And I especially like the way they did it with Anthony Hopkins, because if you notice, he's got the slick back, completely brown hair at the beginning, and then by the end it's gray, but he's also got the bald spot in the back.
Yes, it's going gray. He's looking a little bit grayish himself and whatnot.
But I especially like the addition of the bald spot. It really just kind of sold the whole thing.
Yes, I agree.
I especially like in the movie when the other employees start writing to her behind Frank's back, and they treat all the letters like contraband. Like, oh, okay, he can't see him.
Hide this
can't
one.
see him. Okay,
right.
We'll read what Helene wrote to me. You know, and it's only right because after she started sending him all this food and all these gifts and everything, it was only appropriate that, you know, one of them should write her back and say thank you.
Definitely. I think it's adorable. Yeah. I really do. I think it's so cute how, I'm pretty sure it's the secretary who writes her first, and she keeps it all secretive and treats it like Frank thinks that Helene is like his little treasure. And
his own personal correspondent.
And so she's like, don't tell him that I'm writing you. But and then everybody starts writing. It's adorable. I love it.
You know, it's not like Frank would mind them writing, but I don't think he ever realizes that they did in the movie. Because
that's interesting. I never thought of that.
Yeah, because they don't want... They feel like he's got something really special with her. And he does. Yeah. I mean, the letters are completely different with him than they are with the rest of the staff. But the nice thing is that it maintains his reality of, you know, she's my own personal correspondent that I like talking to. Right. And the employees are very conscientious about that. Very cute.
Very respectful in a way of it, to an extent, you know. Then it's unfortunate when she actually does try to go to London that she gets hit with those massive dentist bills and she can't actually go, and everybody's absolutely crushed. Frank most of all.
Oh yeah, the look on his face when he reads the letter that she's not coming.
She's not coming.
That's why he's such a brilliant actor, is because he expresses so much with just a slight glance to the left and a little sigh.
It was sad. It was really sad.
It was heart-wrenching. It was like, it made you want to well up a little bit, because you're like,
she's not coming, and you were like, Oh my god.
It's like the most tragic thing that's happened to him.
Yeah.
And like that was around the time when the previous monarch had died and Queen Elizabeth was about to take on. So it was kind of a mournful time anyways. And this was the one good thing he was looking forward to. And then
she can't come.
And it's just one of those moments that punches you square in the heart.
Yes.
And you're like,
Yeah, it's true. It was very sad.
Yeah.
But Anthony Hopkins did a really good job of delivering that feeling.
And Frank knows that she's always trying to get up the money or to find the time to come over to London, and that she's prone for surprises, like the nylons, the packages, things like that. So when the American comes into the shop looking for a rare English book, he's like, yes, this is Helene. She stopped by to, just surprise us. She didn't tell us that she was coming.
Right.
And when he finds out that she's not from New York, that she's from somewhere else, that it's not her, he sinks.
Yes, he does. You can see it all on his face. Happy to...
Yeah.
I hate my life.
It's like, it's like the cute little puppy when you've come home from work, like, oh my god, and then
you walk away from it.
Yeah, realize it's not her, and you can almost hear like a little whimper out of it.
Yeah.
Willow! You scared the crap out of us.
Come here, puppy. Oh, good girl. You wanna watch the movie with us? Yeah, you wanna watch the movie. Let's watch the movie. Come on. Oh. Hey, pretty girl. Now you sit. You sit right here and watch a movie with us.
Do you want to watch the good movie with us? Do you, Willow? Do you want to watch the good movie with us?
No, I don't really like Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just I'm gonna go put her back upstairs.
Okay, that's a good idea. Good idea.
Yeah.
Bye, Willow. Oh, wait. Don't forget this.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'll be back in a jiff.
Okay.
Jesus, Jess.
I'm sorry.
I just got out of the hospital. I don't need to go back for another gunshot wound.
I'm sorry. You scared me.
It's okay. That's okay. It's okay. We're good. We'll just get back to the movie.
Okay.
My absolute favorite shot in this entire movie is towards the end, during their last few correspondence, when they go through about 6 or 7 letters within the span of one shot, and they're delivering their letters completely to the camera.
Yes.
It's a real conversation, even though they're not in the same room.
Well, and I think it shows how their friendship really evolves. I mean, it's more towards the end of the movie, so obviously they've been talking for, at this point, 20 years or something like that. But it shows you how comfortable they feel, and just the fact that they put the movie together like that, where it shows them talking to the camera as if they were talking to each other personally. It shows just how comfortable they are writing to each other and just how personal their letters have gotten. And I think it really envelops the spirit of that friendship that they have, just them talking to each other that way. It was really cool. I really liked that part.
And the amazing thing about this movie is that the 84 Charing Cross Road parts were shot in London, and her parts were shot in New York. Anne Bancroft and Anthony Hopkins were never in the same room
Right.
for this movie. I don't
That
know
is
if
really
they
interesting.
even ever met.
Right.
It's exactly how it is, and the fact that their tone and their acting plays off of each other so well is amazing, and a real good tribute to the original two people who were writing back
Yeah.
and forth like this.
Definitely.
It's a very heartwarming relationship, and like especially how they introduce the scene when he writes the letter and he leaves it on the desk and he's walking out, and then he turns back to the camera and says another letter, and then it cuts to her.
Yeah.
It's just so good, it must be fattening. I mean the shot is better than sex. It's just so good. Yeah.
Yeah, what
I
he
like
said.
it.
What he said.
Quite right.
Good idea.
Yes, good idea. Quite right. And then, as we draw to the end of the movie, she comes home late one night after being arrested at a protest, which
Yes.
is hilarious. Just this little spitfire old woman being tossed into the back of a paddy wagon going, "No, I want to say something to you. I want to say something to you." And then she comes home later that night, and she's looking through her mail, and she sees another letter from 84 Charing Cross Road. Very cool. And opens it up, and she finds out that Frank had died after his appendix burst. It's such a hard scene to watch, because you go from this warm, rich scene with the two of them conversing to this cold, British, flat-toned letter letting him know that she's dead, and she just sobs.
Yeah, it's depressing to watch for sure, and the fact that they never met just makes it that much more difficult to watch. I mean, you keep thinking she's somehow gonna come up with the money to get there. She's somehow gonna find a way to make it. She's somehow she's gonna make it, and then to know that she doesn't, your heart kind of just drops into your stomach. It's very sad.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's the very embodiment of, don't put things off. Live your life, because
You never know
that
what's gonna
person may
happen.
not be there.
Right.
And at the beginning of the movie when she's on the airplane and she's going for unfinished business, you think back to that while you're watching the movie, and you think she's going to meet him finally.
Right.
They're gonna meet. They're gonna hug. They're
But
but
it's very sad.
yeah, unfortunately, it just never happened. And she has a couple last correspondence with Nora, Frank's wife,
Right.
Judi Dench, and she admits that she was jealous of her at a time because she feels like she got a part of Frank that she never knew.
Right, which I always thought was interesting. I kind of wondered if there was any, or if there was going to be, or if they were going to show any sort of tension between Frank and Nora just because of that, if Nora actually was getting jealous, or if she just really didn't care, or what. I did think it was interesting how she admitted at the end that she was in fact jealous,
Yeah,
though.
those Brits always playing it close to their chest.
Yep.
And yeah, it was a very cool scene. It was one of the few correspondence that Nora and her have. Is very honest conversation, because in a way Frank was having a love affair with this woman.
In a way.
In a way, it was more of a mental kind of emotional kind of way, or an intellectual affair,
as opposed to like a physical affair, but yeah.
But sometimes that's just as damaging.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was kind of a cool letter to see.
It was.
And at the end of the movie, we get her getting out of the taxi, going into the closed down 84 Charing Cross Road, papers scattered everywhere, empty bookshelves, and she looks to the camera and delivers the last line, "Hey Frankie, I finally made it."
I made it. Yep.
Such a good movie.
It was very good. It was very good. It was very easygoing. I mean, it was happy for pretty much the entire thing, and then the end wasn't so happy, but then the end was happy. I mean, it was just a happy movie.
Yeah, it ended on an up note, and it's definitely one of those movies that your face is a little sore from smiling afterwards.
Yes.
Because everything's so cute and heartwarming.
Funny and yeah, it's true. It was a very good movie. Definitely recommend it.
But that's 84 Charing Cross Road. And I guess that's the end of the episode. Lots of interruptions, but nothing has tried to kill us. So
Shocking.
that's a plus column, and I am jinxing the hell out of us right now. Really? What now?
Whoa! No. You're not just gonna open it, are you?
Yeah.
No, Nick, you can't do that. You don't know what's in there. There could be a myopic chihuahua in there ready to rip your face off. You can't do that.
Okay, first, that makes no sense. Second, well, yeah, there could be, or it could be nothing. Like there's been, I don't know, everything else that's happened today. Either way, I'm sick of waiting around for something to try and kill me.
Whatever.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What's in the box? Nick, what's in the fucking box? Nick, what's in the box? What's in the box, Nick? Tell me what is in the fucking box.
It's horrible. It's the movie I'm reviewing next week. They finally sent it to me. The Dark City, see? I ordered it like weeks ago.
I hate you.
Oh, come on. It's kind of funny. They sent it in a huge, oversized box. I have no idea why they did it. You come on. It's kind of funny.
Whatever.
Well, I guess we're done.
That's it?
Yep.
And nothing's tried to kill us.
Guess not.
Huh. Well, I should probably go then, I suppose. Let's go.
I'll show you out.
Wait,
What?
do you realize what we just did?
Reviewed a movie?
We just watched a movie together without either of our lives being in mortal danger.
We did! Yeah.
Wait.
Hey, we should totally do this again sometime.
Yeah, because this time went so well.
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah, if you say so.
Well, I guess I'll see you when I see you.
Cool. Give me a call sometime and